Hi everybody, this is Jo and I'm here with a new moon reading which I believe will be for the next 2 weeks until the full moon. I think that might be the way that I'll be doing these kind of updates from now on, from full moon to new moon or new moon to full moon every 2 weeks. I work with the phases of the moon quite a lot, and so it seems to kind of suit the energy, so this will probably be a 2-weekly, bi-weekly thing. The first thing that I need to update everybody with, since we've had the new moon, which was yesterday when I'm recording this, and since Saturn has stationed direct, there's been quite a few other astrological things going on, but those are the main two things. The message that comes through really strongly is one, to say really, really well done, because the shift to 5D, all of that clearing and stuff that we've been doing, this last week has been like a really pivotal time. And whatever has been done, whatever work has been done, it's working. And the energy feels like we've reached, within the first wave who are going through this shift, it feels like we have reached a critical mass is the wrong word. We've kind of passed this pivotal point. We've kind of made it through a certain stage, and so what it feels like now is not that it'll be plain sailing, but it's like there's no going back now. So if you've been doing your work and you've made some changes, then there's no going back. So you're not going to be slipping back. Like I said in the other video, you'll not be slipping back into the second wave. You're going forwards. So some people perhaps may have been left behind, and I've not been given information about that, but my role here today is to say well done, because we are moving forwards and things are going to start moving forwards really quickly now. So I've been getting kind of impressions about what's going on all morning, and I've been writing it down as I've been going along, so I'm just going to share it exactly as it's come out and maybe add bits to it before I do a card reading, because I want to give some kind of guidance for the next 2 weeks as well. So the first thing that I want to say is that the people who shout the loudest are often the ones who have nothing of use to say. And I feel this is going to be relevant for many of you. There may well be people who are shouting about, I don't know, their successes or their beliefs or how wonderful they are, like their gifts and how amazing they are. And that is kind of the 3D trying to fight back in a way, trying to make you feel small. And you're at a really vulnerable point where you've kind of been clearing and shedding, and you're still quite new into this kind of phase of your journey, and so you can be quite vulnerable, fragile, delicate, sensitive, and so don't take any notice of those people. I don't have anything more to say. I don't think so anyway, but it's just really important. So this is about not really paying attention to what's going on in the outer world. I do have more to say about that, but that's later, so I'm going to come back to that later. It all fits in really nicely, all of this stuff. It's like random stuff that I've been writing down, but it all fits in really nicely, so you know that it's divinely guided when it works like that. Yeah, it's all divinely guided. Only today I was meant to be doing something completely different, so I'm here in my glasses with no makeup on, so sorry about that everybody, but I've just been made to bring you this video here today. Yeah, so what you're doing is working. I feel like people need a reminder of that. Strong energy coming through to say thank you and to say well done, because it's working, and our shift into 5D is winning. The first wave, so that's you. So as I've mentioned before, there's 5% of the population who have gone through this, like blazed the trail first. and I count myself as one of those, going through just a little ahead to try and pave the way and to make sure that people know what to expect, what's going on, to make, to reassure you that you're doing it right. And so that 30% of the first wave, you are due to embed the 5D consciousness at the December 26th eclipse. So between now and then, things are going to move really, really quickly. The purging may feel like it intensifies between now and December, and I just need to remind you that you are doing it right. So it might feel like it's never ending. It certainly did for me. But just keep going. Just clear whatever comes up, because you're nearly there. It's like 3 months away now. You're nearly there. So it might feel like you're not doing a very good job. It might be like, oh my God, am I still going through this? Why haven't I cleared it? You are clearing it at a rapid rate, but there's just kind of so much that it feels like it's not working. But trust me, it really, really is. I know that I felt like that at several points, like wondering when it was going to end. And so what I need to ask you to do is to focus on your soul and your intuition and what that is telling you, which can be very hard to hear underneath like the chaos of the 3D energy that comes up to be purged and to be released. And that kind of fits in with that phrase that I started with: people who shout the loudest often have nothing to say. The 3D energy is really loud, but it's all rubbish. So focus on the quietness underneath all of that. Focus on what your soul is consistently telling you, and focus on the positive underneath it. Know that even though you cannot see where you're going in the right direction. As you focus on your soul and as you focus on your intuition, you're focused on a really, really high vibration. And what that does is it stirs up 3D energy, which is fear, which is illusion, which is doubt, which is control. And so that's why it feels like the purging may feel like it's intensifying, the clearing is intensifying, because the more you focus on your soul, the more you realize that there's stuff in the way, and you've got to clear that stuff to get it out of the way, to get to where you're going. And so if you focus on, say your intuition is asking you to do something, and it brings up an absolute ton of fear and doubt, and perhaps even emotional pain, physical pain, mental confusion, know that that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And when that comes up, it's a sign that you're doing it right, and all you have to do is clear that stuff that's coming up. So any negative perceptions that you come across, they just need to be released and cleared, and that's where the violet flame can come in helpful. So don't change your focus. Don't think to yourself, well, my soul really, really wants me to do this, but that scares the living shit out of me, so I'm going to do this instead, as like a compromise. Don't compromise what your soul wants you to do. What your soul wants you to do is exactly what you've come here to do. And yes, it might well bring up fear, but your job is to clear that fear and make it there anyway. You're more than capable of doing it. So I want you to really remember that over the next 3 months. Don't compromise because you can do it. I know how hard it is, I do, because I've been through this stuff, and it feels like what your soul is asking you to do is impossible, but it's not. And I'm starting to see where the magic is really happening now. It's just amazing. that the way that things happen so effortlessly. So I'm just at the start of that now, but I know that there's much, much more to come, and I want you to remember that is all there available for you too. I want to mention some number signs as well whilst I'm in the middle of this here, because I just happened to look up at the time. It's 14:44 on the clock on my laptop whilst I'm doing this. You will be seeing signs of 144 or other combinations like 114, 441. 1 and 4 combinations are all a sign that you're heading towards 5D, that you are doing your bit, you're within this first wave. So you may well see a lot of number syncs that come up. So they're coming up to reassure you as well that you're on the right path. Okay, so something else that I've been guided to talk about is working too hard. It's quite a distorted masculine energy to work too hard, and it's like social conditioning that we are programmed to think that we have to work really, really hard. But when we're working really, really hard, what we're usually doing is putting energy outside of ourselves, which is actually a total waste of our energy. So you could be fixing symptoms in the outer world, but it does nothing to ease or to heal the root cause of what you're experiencing. So whatever's happening in your outer world, whether it's a physical ailment, whether it's a situation with other people and you're trying to help, that is all a reflection of something within you. And what you need to do is look within you and heal the energy which is creating that manifestation. And that is how you change the outer world, by going within and clearing what it is that is making that manifest in your physical reality. I hope that makes sense. You're welcome to leave any comments or questions about that, either in the Facebook group or within the YouTube channel. Just seeing if there's anything else that I want to say about that. Yeah, so this shift to 5D consciousness is all about realising that we have the power to create whatever it is that we want. And when I say whatever it is that we want, I don't mean from an ego point of view, like I want to win the lottery. It's not about that. It's about what our soul wants. And for a long, long, long time on planet Earth, we have been creating through the gunk of 3D, which manipulates and distorts our manifestations. So whilst we might be trying to create one thing, it's not really working out the way that we hoped, and that's why we're creating this shift. That's why we're clearing all of this stuff, so that we can free the planet from that control and distortion. So this new moon that we've just had, which was yesterday UK time, it's the new moon in Libra, which is all about balance. And so it's all about finding your balance within you, and balance is the key to 5D. It's about balancing your soul with the physical, because from my perspective, the physical reality is kind of neutral, and it's only like the 3D distortion and fear which has been imprinted on that physical reality that kind of makes it, not very nice, where we experience pain and struggle and fear. But the 5D, it's time for the 5D now to kind of imprint upon that physical reality. So we're balancing our soul with the physical reality now. And soul, you know, you might call it spirit or whatever as well. So balancing spirit with matter, bringing the soul into the physical plane in the sense that we can manifest directly from soul into the physical. So it's restoring balance, because there's nothing really very balanced about the 3D energy. The whole balance of power is completely thrown off because we believe, and it is presented to us, that we don't have any power, but that's not true. And so we're restoring the balance of power, and because it's a new moon, it's like a new beginning in that. And it's very much as within, so without, as above, so below. We're creating from within and reflecting that into the outer world. We're bringing down soul into this physical plane, into this physical reality. And there's also a really important balance to be found between masculine and feminine energies. And you know, regardless of what your gender is, you've got a masculine energy and you've got a feminine energy. And so it's about balancing those within you as well. You might be predominantly feminine, regardless of your gender. You might be predominantly feminine in your energy, but you need to embrace, even if it's a small amount, you need to embrace your masculine energy to bring yourself fully back within your power. And so think about where you're giving too much, not allowing yourself to receive, where you're doing, and perhaps acting out of fear rather than from that intuitive place. So it's all about getting that balance within and without. Now that's a topic for another video, so I'm gonna leave that there, because I could talk about that for quite some time. It kind of brings in the whole, I'm not even going to go there. That's it, I'm going to stop there. Okay, so your role as a soul here is to bring the light of your soul into this physical reality, to shift this planet and its inhabitants into the 5D. Please focus on that. Ask your soul and see what your highest self really wants you to create, and create it. Any fears that come up, it's just showing you energy within yourself that you need to clear so that you can make it happen, because you can make anything happen that you want to. And you'll be happiest, the most content, when you are creating from your soul. The last thing that I want to mention before I bring the cards in is that it's really important that you protect your energy. Like I said before, you're going through a really delicate time. I mean, it's energetically really intense work that we're doing. And so your balance can be knocked quite easily. So really protect yourself from the energy in the outer world. By this, I mean that you're going to be shifting, your consciousness is shifting into 5D, but quite a lot of what is going on outside of yourself is 3D, because there's not many people embodying the 5D really. And so you're kind of being bombarded from all angles in your outer world with 3D energy, and it can be very difficult to keep your balance with that going on around you. It can be very difficult to believe that positive stuff is happening when you can look outside and see physical evidence that it's not happening. But that's not true, so please don't believe that. Please protect yourself from that 3D energy in the outer world. Don't let other people's negativity, issues get to you and drag you down, because your job is to keep your vibration as high as possible, because you are lifting this planet up from 3D into 5D. with the other people in the first wave and with the other people, like the other 5% of the population who are already starting to really embody the 5D. And so you're going to find it difficult to keep your balance. It's taken me, how long now? Probably the last 9 months. So the intense stuff really started to slow down this year for me. But then my struggle was to try to keep my vibration high. And so for the last 9 months, that's what I've been doing, and it's really starting to work now, which I am loving. I'm not saying it's going to take this long for you. I think the people who kind of go first, it takes a lot longer and it's a bit harder for them to do, but as more and more people shift over, it gets easier and easier. So please protect your energy and don't allow yourself to be dragged into negative energy, into 3D energy. Find your balance. Spend time just on your own if you have to. I had to spend an awful lot of time on my own. Now it's getting easier to be around kind of 3D energy without it affecting me. So I don't really need as much protection in that sense. And as I'm sitting here, this was a total accident, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's here. Labradorite is a really good protection crystal. So carrying a piece of that, wearing a piece of that would be really, really good to help you as you find your balance within 5D and as you continue to purge the rest of the 3D. So really, really protect your energy, please, and look after yourselves whilst you're going through the next few months, because this portal, an eclipse portal on December the 26th, is going to be really huge for changing timelines, personal timelines. And then as more of us shift onto 5D timelines, then more and more of the physical reality becomes 5D, because that's where we're creating from. And then as we're creating more of that 5D, we shift as a collective into 5D. So there's a lot going to be happening over the next 3 months. So please look after yourselves, please protect your energy, and please focus on what's going on within you and work on that, because that's the only thing that you've really got control over. So I'm going to take a few cards now. I have here, first of all, the Ascended Master cards from Doreen Virtue. So we're going to take a card from there. And there we have, okay, meditate. So that kind of backs up really nicely what I've been saying, because meditation, no matter how you go about it, is about going within, and it's about switching off your 3D mind, like getting back in control of your mind. Now, I don't do that sitting, clearing your mind type meditation. I do different types of meditation, but even things like going for a walk in nature can be meditative. Washing up can be meditative. I find going in the shower quite meditative actually as well. It just clears your mind. It stops you from whirring around inside your head and gives your soul a chance to be heard. And so really meditation is about listening to your soul and allowing your soul to be heard above or going below the racket of the external 3D fear-based stuff. Doing things that are creative are also very good for getting into that meditative state. So that might well be something that helps you to restore your inner balance so that you can do what your soul is asking you to do. So I'll take another card now. So we've got meditate first of all. This set of cards is also by Doreen Virtue, and it's the Archangel Michael cards. And actually I didn't put two and two together, but obviously for me he's the Archangel of protection, and so we've been talking a lot about protection here, which is, yeah, it all works really nicely. Couldn't plan this any better. Okay, there we go. Okay, I love this one. I couldn't have planned this one any better either. This card is you're on the right path. I love it. I love the confirmation of it. So I'm going to read the bit at the bottom and see what else comes through about this one, and maybe take them both together as well, actually. It's a prayer, actually, underneath. So, Archangel Michael, I call upon you now. Thank you for giving me loud and clear guidance that I easily understand. Thank you for motivating me and filling me with the courage and confidence to make healthful life changes. This actually fits in really well with the things that I was talking about on the webinar that I held on Friday about it's for connecting with the angels. Some of the guidance that came through for that was that we need to connect with the angels because they can act as a go-between or a messenger for our soul and for our intuition when we're struggling to hear it. So when we're in the middle of 3D stuff kicking off for us and we're struggling to hear what our soul is wanting us to hear, the angels can help us with that. I believe that the angels surround this planet because they know that we are going through this shift and they are here to help us. Angels don't have an ego. They know exactly what we need for our best and highest good, so they can act as the go-between before we can hear our soul clearly and relay messages that we need to hear. What I really like about this card, if you look carefully, you've got what I'm going to assume to be a depiction of Archangel Michael, but he's guiding a child there, but the child is wearing like a Superman cape, a superhero cape, and so they're here to support you as you go about your mission, as you're doing your bit like a superhero for this planet. I like the humour of that comes in there. I like the humour because this journey, this purging, this shift can be very serious. Doesn't feel like much fun quite a lot of the time. So I like that there's some humour coming through in this card. So maybe try not to take things quite so seriously. I know that's really hard. For me, like, this mission is so important. I think I have forgotten over the last 2 years to have fun because it's totally taken over my life. And so if that's you, I can certainly take it for me. Try to do something just to lighten things a little bit. Anything that's creative, anything which is childlike, helps us to get in touch with our soul. I've mentioned this before, I think, where children are so in touch with their soul, and we lose it as we grow up. But if we do these childlike, innocent things, it helps us to get in touch with our soul. So behaving like children and having fun just for the sake of it actually helps us to hear our soul even more clearly. Our soul is light and joyous, and that's exactly why we're creating this shift, to make life on this planet light and joyous, because 3D is the total opposite of that. So I feel like I may need to take one more card. I'm taking it from the other pack, the Ascended Masters pack. This is the last one. Not sure why. Let's see what comes out. There we go. Oh my god. I can't make this stuff up. Clear and shield your energy. As if I hadn't said it enough already. You're being reminded again. Clear and shield your energy, please, everybody. Not just over the next 2 weeks. It's something that I do twice a day, every single day. Sometimes I need to clear my energy more, but please make sure that you're doing it. Okay, so you can consider that. You've been told. I love it. So, I hope you enjoyed that. Please feel free to leave some comments below. Share your experiences below as well, because there will be people who understand exactly what you're going through. that helps to make us feel a little bit less crazy. There's also links for the energetic shift group for the other services that I offer below, so please take a look at those. I hope this has helped you. Until the next time, I send you lots of love. Goodbye.